Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, December 27th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one, ticker symbol NIO, and very, very nice move today. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watch past videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me talking about those areas of resistance both there and there, but you can see today both of those levels got absolutely destroyed. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them as they serve their purpose for now. Also get rid of that trend line and just focus on more so kind of the near term areas. But needless to say, very, very impressive way to start off the week here. So as far as newer levels of support, first key level here is just basically the bottom part of this consolidation right here around the 905 mark. So if the price comes down there, 905 would be a very healthy standpoint if it can hold above it. But with that being said, it's not like the chart is epically destroyed if the price were to fall below that area, because from the overarching standpoint, you have this purple line down here, the 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So in other words, from a big picture standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line when the line itself is moving upwards, well then by default, the price is also moving upwards, which by default means the price is in an overall uptrend, which is what you want to see. So keep an eye on that from more so the overall standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, as you're seeing here, it has been a long time since the price has been up this high. I'm going to change time frames a little bit because we got to go back quite a bit in the chart's history as we're looking now at the hourly time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks there represents an entire hour. And next key level of resistance now is up there at right around the $9.60 mark. So again, I changed to the hourly time frame just so we can make seeing that easier to see. But I'll go back here to the 30-minute time frame. And there you go. That's where that 960 is coming from. But all in all, very nice start to the week. Next one, ticker symbol ARBB. And what I like about this one is I would argue a pretty well, there we go. A pretty well-defined trend line here can be put into play. And I like those situations because when you got to think that a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there is no guarantee, is it plausible? Is it valid that if the price comes up here and then pushes up through there, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome and scenario. So if you like to play breakouts and, those self-fulfilling prophecies, I definitely keep an eye on that. And then just from more so kind of the bigger picture standpoint, and I'm going to draw this a little bit more crudely. So yes, there has been this pullback since that opening 30 minutes. But if you ask yourself from the bigger picture, well, what was going on before the pullback? Well, you had this big old move right here. What you now have is a bull flag pattern. Maybe you don't want to look at it that way, and that's fine. But I do think there's an argument to be made that you have a sideways or you have a downwards channel, both in the context of a strong move, which is what's giving that bull flag pattern. But like I said, if you like those breakouts, I definitely keep an eye on a trend line very similar to that. Next one here, ticker symbol BETS. A penny stock, yes, but over almost 2 billion shares today traded. So a lot of volume and very nice movement. So no doubt about it, this thing started to come to life last week, which is why I talked about it. Started putting some higher lows, but today you see right there, volume kicked it into a whole nother deal and up the price went. So let's map out some key levels here and newer levels from a support standpoint. I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this area up, which I should note that from a bullish standpoint, whenever levels of support need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that's always a good thing. So moving forward, what I would call that ideal level of support right there at 0093. But as I already talked about, is 0093 some sort of do or die must hold level? I think that's a bit of an exaggeration because from the bigger picture, you still have that purple line here, which when you look closely enough, you can see this line has actually started to curl itself upwards. So as time goes by and the price stays above that purple line, that line is going to curl itself upwards more and then get a nice upward slope to it. And that's what you want to see because the more of a nice upward slope to it has, that just implies that a nicer uptrend is forming. In terms of areas of resistance, key level now to watch to keep an eye on moving forward is twofold. First, there is this area over here, which is at 0.014, and this is coming from a high from way back here. And then after that, not too far away, you have that pink line there, the very famous 200-period moving average. Big downward slope with that. Does not mean it's impossible to cross. I'm not saying that, but I would expect it to provide some annoyance if the price can get up there. But all in all, very, very massive volume today. Good start to the week. Next one here, ticker symbol MARA. And overall, things are perfectly fine, so I should probably just start off with that, bigger picture context. Since today it was a red day, it did pull back. But overall, nothing, from a big picture standpoint that ruined the chart or anything. In fact, you could probably argue pretty persuasively, I don't think I finished that word. I think I said arg. I think you could argue pretty persuasively that this pullback here actually makes the chart look that much healthier because you got some consolidation. You let it take a bit of a rest, and this rest right here is higher than this rest over here, and so on and so forth. You still have the price nicely above that purple line there, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from last week, but I talked about that as an area of support. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Price basically bounced right off of that green line right there. So overall, yes, today was red, but assuming you care about the big picture point of view, everything is perfectly fine. And I just say that because I know sometimes, if you're a day trader and you bought right there back on Friday and your plan was to buy and sell within 2 minutes, well then yeah, from that angle things are looking bad because there is an even bigger pullback here. But from an overarching standpoint, things are perfectly fine. So nothing has changed from the supports. Still have the 25.13. You have that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And then from a resistance standpoint, nothing has changed. Still have that area up there right around 27.75. Next one here, AMC. And once again, this will probably mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from Friday. But if you did, I talked about these lines here, the resistance and the support, and how, it wouldn't shock me if this thing starts to enter into a sideways channel pattern. And that's exactly how things played out today. You can see down here, opening 30 minutes, price came down, bounced right off the bottom part of the pattern, came upwards, and then surprise, look right where it got rejected, right at that red line. Then eventually that purple line came, which you now know is a 50 period moving average, and crossed down below it. And at that point is where another rejection came. So on that note, technically speaking, the first level of resistance that needs to be cleared is now going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average, because as time goes by, as I've already pointed out, that line is going to move itself and get lower and lower below the channel. But even if the price does break above that level, that's a good sign, yes, but I wouldn't get too overly excited because the price would still have to deal with that area of resistance right there at $6.20. So as of now, the quickest way to really summarize this is just a sideways channel pattern. Top of the channel resistance 620, bottom of the channel support down there at 595. Real quick, wanted to pause and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then certainly get signed up for the free live class. Next one, ticker symbol VLCN, penny stock here that had a nice start. So this is where a little bit of perspective comes into play. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up here and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes from that angle, yeah, things look really bad. But if you care about the bigger picture of things, sure, the price did pull back and you formed this little triangle pattern here. But again, part of caring about the bigger picture standpoint is you're going to ask, okay, well, yeah, the price pulled back from its highs and yet formed this, but what was going on before today? And you say, well, the price was down here and now it's all the way up there. To make it a little bit more visual for you golfers out there, let me put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Not just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards, but nonetheless, it is still a pullback within a stronger overall environment. So would it shock anybody? Would it catch anybody off guard if this thing all of a sudden made another nice move to the upside? I don't think so, especially when you look at it from a volume analysis standpoint. During the pullback and consolidation, you can see much lower volume, which is what you want to see. So no guarantees, but certainly a plausible outcome and plausible way to approach this if you like those bull pennants. So yes, if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, AMD, and this is a very, very interesting chart for this reason, and that is where the price is currently at right now. In regards to this 143.50, just to offer up a little bit more context, you can see that it's essentially at the top of this current bigger range here. But the last time the price was up here, you can see the price did get rejected, and now the price is up here. So step one is good, is at least it didn't flat out get rejected straight back down like it did the previous time. On the kind of the negative side of things, the price is also very clearly struggling. It's really trying to get some separation, and it can't do it. In fact, if you were to picture this as kind of some mud, the price is clearly stuck in this mud right here. Now, the good news with that is that doesn't mean that the price is going to stay stuck or anything like that. I'm just saying, the ideal situation would have the price come up here, break through it, and then act like it wasn't even there and keep on grinding and grinding. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. It's starting to struggle right around this area, which just segues into the interesting question: can the price break above and get some momentum above 143? or 143.50. And that's always exciting when you can ask those sorts of questions, because let's say the price never got up to that level. Then it would make no sense to say, okay, let's see if the price can get some momentum past 143.50, because you would be valid to say, what are you talking about? Shouldn't the price first at least get up to 143.50? But that's already been, accomplished. So that question in and of itself is, is powerful to ask, because at least the price has recovered back up to that area, especially when you consider that not that long ago, the price had went through this bigger pullback right here, where the price wasn't anywhere close to that area of resistance. But the price has recovered. So sure, it's struggling, but it has recovered. So can the price build more momentum and get past there over the next couple of days? We'll see what happens. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And same general idea here, and this will mean more to those of you that watch past videos, but I've been talking about that area of resistance right there many times and how it's been very stubborn. And yes, as of now, the price is broken above it. The price is staying above it, but it's not hugely above it. So in my mind, it more than is valid to ask the question, okay, yeah, it's broken above it, but is it going to be able to maintain and then find that much more strength to the upside? We'll see what happens. That remains to be seen. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose. But the next level that I think will be very helpful in kind of answering those questions is, well, let's see if it can break through this little range right here around the 258 mark. Going through the history of things, while it's not exact, you can see 258 presented some problems right there, a couple more problems, and then even today, this afternoon, a couple more problems. So if the price can break above there and start to stay above there, then at that point, I would definitely say that this thing is not only finding momentum, but building upon the momentum that's already got. So yes, nice day today to get above that initial trend line, but still work to be done. And the next quote-unquote work to be done is getting above and staying above that 258 mark. Next one here, ticker symbol BACK, and talked about this already with a couple of past ones, depending on your standpoint. So again, you day traders that want to buy and sell within minutes, probably not looking so good. But if you care about the bigger picture of things, yes, it did pull back, but within the pullback, it's basically formed this wedge. So you go into, okay, well, I care about the bigger picture. So what was going on before this wedge? Well, you had the big upwards move here. For you golfers, put the golf ball down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. And then again, to go through the volume analysis during the consolidation phase, which is right here. If I correspond that down here, you can see much lower volume, and that's what you want to see. Lower volume drop off during those consolidations. So I know a couple of other bull pennants have been, I think, on the penny stocks, but here's one where not a penny stock, but still relatively cheap, down below $10. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to go up, this one will also go up. It just allows you access at a lower price point, which makes it a very popular ETF. And here we have very nice breakout today. So yes, it was a nice day for the NASDAQ, and that's what you're seeing here via the break of this trend line. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that and actually get rid of these lines down here. Sure, they still pertain. They're just not really relevant. And from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to risk causing confusion and clutter because there's lines everywhere. So one of the newest areas of support is going to be this former breakout area right here at the 5110 mark. And that's once more one of those ideal levels where if the price falls below it, doesn't mean everything's destroyed, but that would certainly make it look the healthiest and strongest from more of a bigger picture standpoint. As I've already talked about, that 50 period moving average can serve as an area of support. You can see it actually doing a good job there and there. And then granted, when the price does fall below it, you can see it does create some pretty big downwards movements, but overarching right now, the price is still nicely up above it. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated here. Just the question of, well, where did the party momentum finally stop today? And that was right up there at 5150, we'll call it. So no fancy logic behind that other than just simply, where did the party stop today? 5150, so keep an eye on that moving forward. But overall, nice way to start off the week here for the NASDAQ. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for that free class. It'll be later on this week, Thursday, December 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these, do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Those sorts of things really help out, and definitely get signed up for that free class. So thanks for watching. Take care. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you back for the next one.